Hello everyone, I'm Paul and welcome to your Legion. A lot of you tell me that I talk too slow. A lot of you tell me that I look away from the camera. Well, the reason why I talk slow is basically because I'm trying to allow everybody out there who doesn't understand English as their first language a chance to understand where I'm going with something. The other reason why I might look away from the camera sometimes is because I really don't use a script. I'm actually trying to recall what I'm talking about when it comes to specs, etc. So that's where I get all that. We'll be taking a look at something different this time. I'm actually going to look at memory. This happens to be Kingston HyperX Memory. It's DDR4, it's quad channel, it's 2666, it's CL15, and guess what? It's the HyperX Fury, and they're beautiful. They're nice and short. They're not gigantic like what we're used to seeing with the HyperX brand, which is usually pretty damn big. And I'll show you one of those right now. These are the Predators, and look at the size of those things. One thing that's good with these, when you're done using them and they're no good anymore, you can take them and use them as a hair comb. They work pretty good. I got quite a few of them. In any case, memory is very important for your computer. Of course, things are changing now. We're going to start seeing DDR4 memory coming out to be a little bit more mainstream. And I know that I only had 2 sticks in here, but this is actually quad channel, so there was actually 4 in here. But Irma gets a little bit upset when I keep her memory slots naked, so I left 2 in there so she feels okay. But basically, when you're talking about memory right now, when we're looking at SMP settings, etc., you want a good XMP, and you want it to be about 1.2 volts. That is XMP certified right now for DDR4 is 1.2 volts. Nice low voltage. Unfortunately, we're getting to the early stages of DDR4, so as you see, being a CL15, the timings are a little bit high. Not very easy to tighten timings on this DDR4 memory because it is new, so hopefully soon we'll be able to take advantage of tightening memory. But one good thing about this is, and it's one of the first times in a very long time, I was actually able to overclock some Kingston memory. I've had problems in the past. What they normally do is they bend their memory chips just to the point of where if you're buying 2666, they bend it to be 2666. So there was usually no room, even with loosening timings, that you could actually get a chance to actually overclock it or tighten or give it a little bit more megahertz. So what I did was I actually got this up to 3000. It worked just fine. We did some benchmarks and we're going to show them to you now. All right, everyone, so let's look at it. When you actually look at me stepping up from those benchmarks, I went regular without the XMP, of course. That was the first benchmark that you saw. Then I went XMP, which is the 2666. Then from there we went to 2750, and then finally I went up to the 3000. As you noticed, between the 2666 and the 2750, there wasn't really much of a difference when you're looking at the raw numbers in performance statistical numbers. But when we went up to the 3000, and basically, you know, when you're doing something like that and put in a 125 megahertz strap, which I will tell you, with the DDR4, these Intel X99 boards on XMP settings want to see a 125 megahertz strap. I tried it with the 100 megahertz strap and it just doesn't work right. So you're looking for about 125 megahertz strap. So when I upped it to the 3000, bringing it up to the 125 megahertz strap, we actually overclocked the CPU a little bit too, and that went up to about 4 gigahertz from its normal 3.3, I think it was, on the X99 5960. So you can see that we got a nice performance boost, and that really shows in PC Mark 8. And you can see that in Ada and the other ones too. But technically, sometimes when you're loosening timings and you're going up and down with megahertz, you're actually borrowing Peter to pay Paul. You're really not going to see some of the benefits that you're actually going to get when you actually do a total overclocking. Keep the same timings, or actually loosening timings very, very, I guess you could say, stiffly, or don't do it too much. I mean, if you're at a CL15, you don't want to go to a CL20 because you're just borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. In any case, these are nice memory modules, good overclock for Kingston. It looks like they're coming back. They're actually starting to really get into the memory again. They're not just using their name to sell chips. We're going to go ahead and give them a gold award. I want to say thank you everyone for watching this video. Stay thirsty, my friends. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you visit hightechlegion.com if you want to read some written reviews. Bye-bye.